Welcome to your weekly astrology horoscope. This is the Peace Dealer, and this horoscope is for the week of the 31st of May. Have a weird feeling in the pit of your belly? Are you aware that what you are seeing on media doesn't resonate with what you know to be the truth? Worry not. We are enacting a square with the Sun and Neptune in Pisces. And we all know Neptune and Pisces in distortion have everything to do with illusions, falsities, and squaring Gemini. We're in the realm of spin doctoring, where you can see an image, you can see a video, but the interpretation around that video or image could be the farthest from truth. You could see somebody hugging a cat on TV, and someone spins that to mean this is a dog hater. That type of energy. Believe none of what you see this week. Actually, in general, but more so this week. Believe none of what you hear and none of what you see. Okay? Believe only what you know and your own personal experience, not beliefs regurgitated from others, will reveal this to you. Okay? This is the time where if you're really about it on your spiritual path, you're not going to be letting false energies like anger, pride, impatience get in the way. The same celestial beings, the same spiritual guides who walk with you when good things happen in your life are also walking with you when challenging things happen. Okay? There's no need to respond and match the energy of chaos that's being put out there by several people, because that's not going to keep you vigilant. If you want, you see how crazy everything looks like it's going now? This shit is nothing compared to 2021. And in 2021 is nothing compared to 2023. Everything that you see this year is just a sneak peek. This is the new norm. Chaos, revolts, anarchy, it is but a symptom of the last Pluto cycle. It's nothing spiritual. Actually, like, this is a spiritual matter, but it's nothing extra super duper spiritual. It's nothing that we need to really use vague terms for. It's a symptom, and this happens every Pluto cycle. When Pluto was in Capricorn last time, there were symptoms that led to the revolution of the formation of this country. Shout out to Aya Samadhi. She actually pointed out how the last time Saturn was in Aquarius, there were civil rights riots. All right, back in the 90s, 91, 92. So keep that in mind. This is really just the cyclical repeating of history, because things don't just happen. They stem from previous cycles. Okay? What's happening now isn't isolated. It stems from previous instances that stem from the inception of this country, that stem even before it. And so you see people all over the world attending to the symptoms, but not attending to the root core. Okay? Keep that in mind. This week we have a full moon, and the sun is going to conjunct Venus retrograde. And this is the part of this cycle where if you weren't sure about the fact that revolution is amongst us, you're going to be sure. Like, you're going to see it. Full moon in Sag. Like, this will be felt around the world. And this is what's going to lead to the next 6 months from Gemini season to Sagittarius season, where we go back into Capricorn, and then we get ready for this Aqua transit. Be very careful, and I'm gonna take my time with this weekly. There's a lot I've been picking up. If you're a Capricorn moon, my heart's to you. It's not easy to be a Cap moon right now, because you have Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto on your soul. If you have a Cap moon, you feel what happens in the world. It's a collective energy. So, it's not really easy, but be very, very, very mindful. You don't want to be so focused on what you see on TV that you forget there's way more layers and levels to this. Don't get caught up in a good versus bad. Everybody has good and bad. So don't get caught up in a dichotomy of selling up a villain, or this will totally pass through you. Like I said before, this is nothing compared to 2021, okay? This is nothing compared to 2023. So just be mindful that everything that you're experiencing now is really meant to show you what is getting ready to unravel, as the whole purpose of these planets finishing out in Cap with Pluto there. What this Pluto does, it kills, it destroys. It's to end the traditions and systems that governed us. Hence why you're starting to see this kind of unravel. Don't worry, it gets way uglier. The thing that's very important in Gemini season is that you stay true. And like, you see a lot of people meaning well. You see a lot of people who feel in their hearts of hearts they're doing the right thing. But Neptune is in Pisces. Majority of people are delusional right now. Majority of people are overrun with passion. Majority of people are overrun with beliefs. You cannot tell them that what they're doing is stupid. They cannot listen to reason. And this is the energy you're going to see permeating for the next 6 months. Stay true. You're going to see a bunch of people get caught up in their passion and use their position to divide other people. If you're not doing this like this, then you're against us. If you're not doing this the way we want you to do it, then you're against us. It's all deception. You can't get so caught up on what is purporting for you, because remember, this is all like WWE. You can't get caught up in the narrative and forget the bigger picture. This is about staying true. Remember, we're getting ready for Jupiter and Saturn Aquarius, which is going to establish new laws, new protocol. So the reason why this week is so instrumental is that the moon that's going to complete this Gemini cycle, remember, a lot of this outrage started when this Gemini cycle started. So we're coming into the completion this week, and it's going to build one huge climax that's getting ready to show the world the actions to take next when we step into the Cancer cycle, where we have our boss battle, which is, oh my God, considering the way things are now, we're going to start the gauntlet at the end of the week after the full moon. We went through the gauntlet Aries season, we went through the gauntlet Taurus season, and we're going through the gauntlet Gemini season, as the moon will transit through Capricorn and go through the outer planets, go through Aquarius, go through Pisces and Neptune, go through Chiron and Aries, go through Uranus and Taurus, go through North Node and Gemini, boom, out the gauntlet, okay? And this is just going to exponentially trigger more catalysts and drive situations and experiences further down. Everybody has a role to play right now. But in Gemini season, this is all about staying true to you relative to these Capricorn outer transit energies that, with the quincunx to Gemini, is transforming 8th house to Gemini, how you even perceive what is true. A lot of long-standing truths that you really came into, you're starting to see don't really apply. And this is a week that's going to really let you know who's who. Like, you see a lot of people who are spiritual only in name. They're not really like, and I just please let this week let you know that not a lot of people are really about it. This, especially paths like this, like it's very few who are called to this path. And just because you see people draw accurate card readings, just because you see people mean well, doesn't mean that they meant well and rushed into a path that's not for them. Okay? So you're going to see people who champion positive movements, who champion spiritual movements, who feel like they're holier than thou. But now that Saturn is testing you right now, how are you acting? You see people who act spiritual hating on other people because they're not doing what they want to do. That's not spiritual. You see other people acting like they're political, just basically pushing their political agenda, using social media to show, look, I'm active, look, I'm doing something, look, I'm doing something. And you can't really tell people, and I'm just using the example of protesting, but this applies to way outside of protesting. Neptune square Sun in Gemini. You just can't give reason to people who feel like what they're doing is so important. And when that fog dispels, you'll realize that you really did nothing meaningful, but just aid in more division and distraction. This is not a time to be distracted. You know the work that you have to do. This will be different if you didn't know the work you have to do. And the point that I'm making before is, this is nothing compared to 2021. So if you get distracted by all the stuff happening this year, you're gonna be tired when you were supposed to conserving your energy for the real battle. We have a boss battle coming up Cancer season. You're supposed to be gaining experience. Don't get distracted by these false agendas, by these people bringing up conspiracy theories. That's what Gemini season does when Neptune squares it. All this information, most of which is fake, most of which is misled. You only need to be concerned with the truth that's coming from your heart. Venus retrograde in Gemini. If you allow yourself to be deceived, you will allow people who mean well to completely waste your time. And you're not here to have your time wasted. We're moving forward into one of the most revolutionary times of all time, the greatest awakening of our collective. And as the moon transits Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius, this full moon that's going to be opposing Venus retrograde is really going to show you the truth of what's going on. And it may not be beautiful. Venus is retrograde. It's going to be the ugly truth. And you need to see this. You need to see this so that you can take action appropriately when we start Cancer season next week. Everyone wants to be a revolutionary. Everyone wants to be an activist. Don't do too much to the point where you can't do anything when it's actually time to do something meaningful. Because everyone right now wants to do everything but what actually has to be done. And then there's you watching this who's staying true. And all I ask for you is that you just do what you know you're supposed to do. You do what is true to you. Whether it's trending or not, when you are yourself, that's the most revolutionary thing you could do. Because when you are yourself, you walk on your path and you're aligned with the people who can only meet you if you're being yourself. Don't listen to people who feel like, oh, you're not doing enough. Oh, you have to do this. Oh, you have to do that. They're dark forces. They're being used by dark forces to distract you. Some of these people mean well, but just stay focused, stay vigilant. I think the highlight of this week is Mercury. That's going to be dead squaring Chiron and Aries and sextiling Uranus and Neptune. That's a narrative that's opening up. That's a lot of pain in one's character that's now being communicated through sincerity to come into deeper understanding. But overall impressions of this week, be very mindful of information you're given. It's probably a lie. Even if you see it, be very discerning. Not everything is as it seems, and this is really going to change the way you connect with others. At the end of the day, a lot of people are hurting. A lot of people are sad. A lot of people are taking their anger out on other people. I'm not going to say this like love and light thing where pray for people from afar. Don't get wrapped up in their bullshit. Let them be mad. Let them be angry. But don't stoop down their level. Don't get wrapped up in their bullshit. I'm telling you, we're entering square territory. Neptune squares are sinister. People will lie to your face and exploit this deception to push their agenda. So see through it, stay true, stay you, and until next week,